Sagittarius, how you doing? So it's very strange, very quickly for your channel messages, just for a start, is that I keep picking up this welcome, like good morning, no you're welcome, good morning, thank you, good morning, good evening, and good night. Like a TV show, or something that you do. I don't know, like a camera, for instance, or Cameron, the name Cameron, or Cam, or Mile, or Mel, but like good morning. It's a bit like that you work in a shop, or that wherever you go each day, each morning, you say good morning. Or like somebody just turns up at the door every morning and you go, good morning, thank you, yeah, there you go. And it's kind of like someone delivers something and then they pass it on, or something like that, right? Or the name Parsons, I keep picking up that name so much, Parsons. But like parsnips or something, and like someone delivers food to you and you're like, oh thank you, good morning, thank you, and then you pay for it at the door and then they go. Or like you give them something, whatever this is, a thing, Stephen King, or you give them something and then they go. But there seems to be a lot of coming and going, if you know what I'm saying. I can't pick up what that is, because I really feel that someone pretty much comes to the door, knocks on the door, and then you say good morning, you give them something, and then they leave. Now the name Lee, or Leanne, or lead, something to do with a dog or a cat, so probably Leo, something to do with a dog or a cat, or a physical dog or a cat, but also a Leo. But I'm picking up good morning, good evening, good night. It's kind of like somebody comes to visit 3 times a day, if you like. Now it might be something to do around a Piscean, because there could also be 3. If not, it's kind of like that you say good morning to this person, or you see them 3 times a day. You see them 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at the evening. So it's kind of like that you might be taking medication for a lot of you, and you have to take 1 in the morning, you have to take 1 in the afternoon, and you have to take 1 in the evening. Because I keep seeing like having to take something 3 times. Like I have to keep repeating it 3 times. I have to keep doing it 3 times. It's like eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Okay, eat, sleep, rave, repeat, but that's 4. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio somewhere as a placement. But I keep hearing though that you do it 3 times, like, or you do, say if you do tarot, you do 3 signs, like 3 signs. Okay, so what on earth is that? Like 3 signs, like I do 3. I do 3 per day, whichever it is. It's like I'm going to do 3 per day, 3 per day. Like it's a bit like that you open up a pill box, and then it's got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on it, right? And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right, so it's kind of like that you're trying to figure out your schedule of what it is that you can fit in and what you can do 3 times a day, but like it's kind of like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Now the name Wendy, or say Wendy, but or very windy. It's very windy outside. I keep picking up predicting weather that it's very windy. So it's kind of like, look, we can't do it outside. We have to do this, whatever this is, because it could be something like the gym or something, but we can't do it outside anymore. We have to do it inside. Or like when this person comes round, it's like, oh, are you sure? Or Gary or Tina, but like, are you sure? Right? And it's like, yes, no, I'm honest. And it's like, well, it's windy outside, it's raining outside, are you sure? And it's like, yes, no, I'm sure, positive, honestly. It's like, are you sure? No, look, just take it, for God's sake, just take it. So I don't know if you're trying to ram something in someone's throat, or like you're going through, what on earth is this? Because for some strange reason they're saying that about weather and about Heather, the name Heather, or like handing in a slip or something to do with your taxes, okay, and having to sort out a taxi company, or it's to do with a Cancerian, or it's like having to physically pay my taxes, right? Because that is actually coming up, right? So you could have that as a sideline, but it's something also to do with a Leo. Okay, so they're saying that you might have a business as a sideline. So you do one business, but then you have another business as a sideline. Or you work as a main job and then you do something else as a sideline. Okay, so it's kind of like accumulating things, but like I have a main job, right? My main job, my main lot of bread and butter, or my main man, right? So I am the main man. So it's kind of like a bachelor, if you like, but I have 2 jobs, or 3 even, right? But I do 1 in the morning, I do 1 in the afternoon, and then I do 1 at night, is what they keep saying. Now, some of that is medication, some of that is a person that comes to visit, and you offer them something and they give you it in return and then they go, whatever this thing is, right? It could be a Stephen, but whatever it is involved, but they come to the door, thanks, blah, 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 3 times a day, okay? Some of this is medication that's taken once, twice, 3 times a day. Some of you could be a teacher of such, and you take 3 classes, because they keep saying like it's a 3. Now it's either a third party, but we're not going to go down that road. Could also be a party, Taurus, I think its birthday, is it? I'm not sure. But or Gary, the name Gary Shaw, or Gary, right? But 3. So you could be a teacher. So you take 3 classes. We do 1 in the morning, and we do 1 in the afternoon, and we do 1 at night. So if you were, say, like a gym instructor, because I'm picking up a teacher, okay, so say if you're an instructor or a teacher, you do 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 at night. So you do 3 classes, because they're saying that we're going to do 3 classes per week. Okay, now I don't know if that's per day or per week. I don't know. It's up to you whether that be true or not. But true or false, something to do with around Libra that you could have, and it could be something to do around business. If it isn't Libra, it's to do with money. And if I shout out a name or a star sign, it represents people that are in your soul group, right? Your soul group, right? Because you've got judgment energies. So what I read from for a start before I look at cards, if you haven't met this channel before, is the Akashic Records. We put the glue together. It's not generic, okay? So it's not Jen, it's not Julian, it's not Jason, or nor Justin, or is it? Right? Or is it Stephen? So it's kind of like, okay, I've got three things, right? So Stranger Things. So you've kind of got this where you're minimizing things down to either 3 times a week, or you're minimizing 3 down. They keep saying 2 up, 3 down, 2 up, 3 down. So, I mean, is this a story block, right? And you live on the second floor or 3rd floor, but they're saying 2 up, 2 down. Okay, so 2 up, 2 down. What on earth does that mean? 2 up, 2 down. So that's kind of like a block of flats, right? Or a story building. Story. So, or are you writing a story? 2 up, 2 down, 3 down. Or the band, which is 3 doors down, right? 3 doors down. I can't remember what they sang, but 3 doors down. I keep hearing a song by 3 doors down. So what else have you got, Sagittarius? Well, your main messages, I'm only really going to keep these very brief, right? I ain't going to go on for too long, because I try to comprehend to everybody that does like it and that doesn't like it, and I can't do everything for everybody, right? And it feels a little bit like that, if I'm honest, Sagittarius. Like, I can't do everything for everybody all of the time, right? All of the time. I can't do this all of the time. So it feels like part-time work. Whichever way around you look at it, make sure my audio's recording. Like, it's part-time work. I can't do this all of the time. I can only just do it now and again. Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine. I can only just do it now and again. I can't do it all the time because I have a full-time job. So I can only do it part-time. And what it feels like is taking pieces of, well, messages and energy, but it feels like I can only do like 3, or I can only do like my main job, and I can't do this all of the time. I can only do it part-time. So it feels like that you've got 1 job, 2 jobs, or 3 jobs, or something like that, and someone's like a taskmaster. So you're definitely dealing with around Capricorn, because that would be a taskmaster, which would be Saturn. So it's like trying to get things in return. It's like, well, what am I going to get for my investment of this karmically? Because that's what Spirit would say. So what are you giving, and what are you receiving out of it? Because there's kind of like, look, I can only really do 1, 2, or 3, or I can only do it 3 days a week, or something like that. That's here, right? So it feels like a taskmaster of Capricorn or Saturn for me, right? So you could be dealing with these energies, and it feels like that I'm doing 3, like I'm doing 3. But all 3, it's not, it's kind of like you have a main job, like a main job, right? A main job. Or a blow job. I mean, whichever way it is. I'm having a main job and a blow job, or whatever it is, or a blow dry. Some of you're probably going to have your hair cut for some strange reason of why I'm picking this up, and you're going to have a blow dry. A blow dry, okay, or I'm blowing dry. Someone is probably suffering maybe from vaginal dryness. I'm just going to put that out there, because I'm picking up like I'm going dry, or Dre. I'm going to see Dre. Really? Oh yeah. But like music production or music, and I'm like DJing and stuff like this. I'm going to a club, or because I can see flashing lights in a club. Right, so I'm picking up like production, which will actually lead me to, if you like, Angel Radio. You can find it in the description, but I think you'll like this one, Sagittarius. I made it last night, just very quickly. You've got to like this one. So I can see like flashing lights in the club and music, like production of music or something. Change that around quite a lot. I've got to change it around because I haven't actually finished it. I started it last night, so it's nearly finished, but I have to like alter it around a bit. But something like that, because I'm seeing like, I don't know, well, they're saying Dr. Dre, right? So some of you might have to go to the doctors, and you might have a doctor's appointment or something like that, and you have to go to the doctors, and this could be like the clinic, and I have to go once, twice, 2 times a day to the chemist. Somebody could be an addict here, if they're a drug addict or anything like that, or you have to go and pick up 3 prescriptions, like 3 prescriptions, and I have these 3 things on my mind that I have to go and collect each day from the shop, 1, 2, 3, right? Or I go from here to the shop to somewhere else. Right, but it feels like I'm doing my rounds, right? So you're definitely dealing with 3, whichever way you look at it, right? And you could be dealing with the Pisces that is involved in your soul group somewhere. Okay, and I'm doing my rounds. I go from home to the shop to somewhere else. I go from somewhere else back to the shop to home, right? I'm also picking up a lot of references for some of you out there that are interested in music and all that kind of thing around Dr. Dre, okay? So they are saying that for some of you, it's like mixing, mastering, all that kind of thing. This is Ableton, so all that kind of stuff, right? Mixing, mastering. Or like just listening to physical Dr. Dre. If not, you're listening to a doctor. If not, you are one. And it's like you have 3 patients. Okay, so you're definitely dealing with another Sagittarius maybe somewhere. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node. Okay, I am dealing with 3 patients. 3 patients. 3 plays. I'm dealing with 3 plays. Like Chuck E. Cheese. So you might work at Chuck E. Cheese, they're saying. And I have like 3 burgers. So unless you've got 3 women and there's a guy here that's got 3 burgers, who knows? Well, that's a person that you really don't want. If they're eating 3 burgers, bruv. So if anybody's eating 3 burgers, you could well be on a diet, and that could be the 3 things that you're looking at, because it could have something to do with the gym. So Jim, Jelly, and Justin, juicing. Again, someone's abusing and juicing. So through another reading, somebody was using antibiotics or steroids. Okay, steroids. Someone's using steroids. Because I'm definitely hearing signs of addiction now for a lot of you that could well be coming up. Okay, I said I wasn't going to leave these too long. See, I don't know, 13 on the clock, so you could be definitely dealing with Scorpio, so you're looking at 4 and 4. So you're looking at Scorpio, Aquarius, and also Leo involved somewhere. So you could have all of that in your chart somewhere, which would be a Scorpio, Aquarius, and also Leo. Okay, but coming out of those intergalactic weird stuff, I don't never always know if everybody likes this, because they just find the channel. A lot of people do, and then some people are like, oh, you don't do enough reading. I'll get towards that in the end, guys, but this is my calling. I have to stick by it, right? So in another reading, I came up with the fact that somebody could well be juicing. Now, for some, this is just physically juicing, like having a lot of juice, right? Apples, oranges, and all that kind of thing. And juicing, buying a juicer, and then suppressing, like, all that kind of stuff, like drinking healthily and all this kind of thing. Now, that's good, but for some reason, for another reading, I picked up juicing, right? Now, abusing and using, right? So I did pick up steroids through another reading. Which one was it? It was the last one, Scorpio. And yeah, so there you go, there's the 4. So there's something around either a 4, which would be a main as Scorpio, is either 1, juicing, or using, and it doesn't have to be them if you're cross-watching, it doesn't have to be. I just have to put that out there. It's involving a 4, right? So you're looking at juicing or using, juicing lot. I've got the juicing. Somebody beginning with J, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jasmine, whoever beginning with J. Also, I'm picking up somebody that's in a same-sex relationship as well, same-sex relationship. And I've got something. Somebody may have caught a disease here through something, because I keep picking up like an intravenous in Venus, in the penis, or Pearson's, or like Parsons, or Pearson. A piercing in my penis. Somebody has a piercing in their penis. Really? Stay away from me. What? Well, no, forget that one. What on earth is in my head? Something's in your head. See, images in my... I got these images in my head. The name Imogen, or John Lennon. John, Imagine all the people living. So John, but John Lennon, or Lenny, the name Lenny, which is a dog. Putri, there you are, there's your dog. Something to do with Lenny Kravitz also. But very quickly, what was I picking up? Like, something is in my head. Something is in my head. Now, the name Ed, or Edwina, or Eddie, the name Eddie, is in my head. Like, something is repetitively going over. So you've got a fixed sign in your head. So some of you, you've got one of the fixed signs in your head. Leo, here's Leo, so then you've got such as Aries, Scorpio, Taurus. Anyway, one of the fixed signs, I can't think straight away on here. Okay, but one of the fixed signs in my head, I've got a fixed sign in my head. I'm fixated, I'm obsessed, I'm picking up an obsession. Somebody is obsessed with a person, or you've got a lot of references of food, that was it. So you've got addiction, you've got Capricorn energy around you, you've got addiction, you've got obsession here. Now I'm obsessed with food, or I'm obsessed with my sister, what? I'm obsessed about my sister. Or Melissa. I'm obsessed about Melissa. Or Mel. And I'm obsessed. Like an obsession. Is this to do with like love? Or is it to do with food? Because I keep picking up like an obsession. Because I did pick up Chuck E. Cheese. Right? So something around like I'm obsessed about eating cheese. Or Stuart Little and a mouse. So you're definitely dealing with cat and mouse. So you're dealing with Leo. 100%. Obsession. Like an obsession. Leo obsession. I mean, you've got to be careful around sociopath also, because that very much, I'm not blaming Leos, because it can be anybody. But in the last reading, I think it was Scorpio or Libra, I can't remember. Leo was in reverse, and it showed a big sign of a sociopath that wanted to be in all of the lights and all the glamour and all the glitz and like the glamour girls, or like glamour, like I want glitz, I want glamour. But it can also be a sociopath, right? So you've got to be very careful around those. And you've got to be very careful around empaths. If you are interested, the Magician's Table is also coming up very soon. And I've been writing messages from the Hidden Book of Knowledge, right, about loads of things about that. So stay tuned if you are interested. But my views on it, okay. But a lot of things, because it's going to be to do with the Akashic Records, empaths, triggers, and everything else. Okay. Yeah, so something about abusing, or somebody that's very ripped that could well be juicing here, juicing. Now it's either juicing or abusing, but I don't know. Because I keep picking up on signs of something being abusive around someone's body, about their body. So they're obsessed. This person is obsessed about their own body. Now, like I said, if this is, because you're definitely picking up on like a eating disorder here for sure, but you've also got obsessed about my body and obsessed about my look. Like, look, see, sociopaths, it can be, you see, I'm obsessed of being in the limelight of how I look. Like, that's the main part, is how I look, right? But that can really come across as well, I don't give a shit, me, but I'm definitely picking up on like a huge sign of like my look is everything, like my rip, my body, my physique, my everything is everything, right? Because you've got obsession of food, right, which is very important. You've got possible signs of sociopathy, okay. Pam, I'm also picking up the name Pam, but these messages don't have to relate to your lover, right? So your mum, it could be your mum, it could be something to do with around a lover, which is the lovers, Gemini energy, and I'm obsessed about the Gemini. I'm obsessed about the Gemini. I'm obsessed about the Gemini. Geminis don't normally form an obsession. They don't think. Geminis, they just do. Geminis just think a lot, but they think a lot of themselves, right? So you've got a selfish, maybe. So you've got a Gemini Pisces. But you've got Gemini Pisces or a Pisces Gemini, whichever way you look at it, and a shellfish, or Michelle, the name Michelle, or Shell. Michelle or Michelle. Okay. And you've got you've kind of got this energy of obsession, like I'm obsessed, like I am physically obsessed. Okay, so there you go. That's what I've got for you, Sagittarius. So let's see what you've had coming up. So I change things all the time. Very quickly, don't skip it. Sometimes I look at past. Sometimes I look at past, present, future. Sometimes I just look at the future, right? But I will explain that towards the end. This time around, it's going to be slightly past. Next time, it will be future. The one after that will only be over on Patron. Okay, so this one is the same as last one of what I've been doing for the weeklies, which is we start to look at your past. The next one that I do will be the future, but then the one after that will only appear upon Patreon Tier 2. Okay, sorry I have to do that for a beginning, but I'm trying to please everybody. Okay, Sagittarius. What's been going on with Sagittarius? These are vital. They're vital, because if everybody wants to change, right, you have to know what's been going on. So I'm hearing, well, what has been going on then? Well, we've been talking about it, we've been discussing it, and we've been going over it. Some of you have got kids with another person. If you haven't, you've been talking it about what you want to do with this plan with friends, right? It's friends who will be friends. So some of you are befriending someone, or trying to befriend someone, or just trying to be cruel. I'm hearing I need to be cruel to be kind. Like, in order for me to really be kind and for me to truly be your friend, I need to start being cruel to you in order... What? What? In order to be your friend, I need to be cruel to you for you to be my friend. Or I need to cruel to you for you to be it. Like, I want to be around you. You've got an obsession here. Like, this is like a child that clings on to a mother, or the mother even holds on to the child and won't let this person go, is what I'm hearing. Because another reading had, I'm not going to let my children go and see their father, or I'm not going to let my children go and see their mother. And this is why this is kind of giving me 2 or 3 instances, really, through one card. Okay, sorry if you all are part of the complaining 1 or 2 cards people, right? But I channel your messages through a card or without them, right? But I'm hearing that we're having problems with the ex. I don't really want my children going over to see them, right? I don't really want my children going there, right? So you've kind of got this image, the name Image or Imogen here, or John. But you've kind of got this image, is what I'm picking up. Like, image is important, like spitting image, right? So Maggie Thatcher, so someone could be from London, but spitting image, like I'm trying to perform but make you an image. I'm trying to mould you into something. So this is why this is something to do with around the gym, right? But I'm trying to mould you into something, right? But for some here, or Mulder or Scully or the X-Files, X marks the spot, Capricorn, right? And I'm trying to mould you, Molly, or someone that has moles or is taking Molly, okay? A dog, a cat, or drugs, or juicing, right here. So I'm hearing that let's stick with the main message, because they're getting a little bit cross-eyed here. Okay. I don't want my children going over there, is what I keep hearing. I'm sorry, but I do. I know that just means the Knight of Cups, right? But I hear that I don't want my children going over there. I don't know, like, if I want to go over there. But I have your greatest need. Anyway, what's been going on with Sagittarius, please? This will tell us all. Now, the trouble is, I'm not, unless, because I've put them all back up right now, but here, this was in reverse in quite a few of the readings, but I've picked it out. Now, this was, like I said, in 2 readings, it was in reverse. It was a big sociopath energy-ish, but this might mean that something is being sorted out. It's now being organised. You are now talking with your partner that is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Or you are a Sagittarius, but your partner is a Leo or Aquarius, or maybe Aquarius, but a Leo or an Aries, right? Or a water sign. It doesn't really matter. But it feels like that whatever was the matter now is where this can be a very tricky energy, because it doesn't show it, but the energy of whatever was tricky in the past, it's now coming back up to itself to reconcile, to talk about it, to settle the energy down. So you have to look at past behaviour. This is why this is so important, because you have to look at past behaviour, right? So when you look at that, what you've done now is pretty much reconciled. You've forgiven, forgotten in a way. But there is an underlining energy of reading from an empath that seems to be very, I don't quite know yet. Like, I don't know if I want to go the full hog. Like, I don't know, because there's something to do with around food here. Groundhog Day. So they're saying that this is a repetitive pattern of doing something. But the only disturbing energy is how this one card, because I represent this as Leo, right? This is, for me, it's a Leo, right? Because in many cards there is a lion, and then in this other deck there's a lion, right? So for me it represents Leo, but because it's here with you, it means that a lot of people in your soul group have fire in their chart, right? Generally. So what you've got here is an obsession, right? You've got a sex addiction also, a sex addiction. But you've got passion, but because this was in reverse in some of the other readings, you've got to be very careful, and it will only really show when I start to actually clarify those cards here. But you've kind of got this energy of an obsession, like I'm saying here. Because there's a sex addiction here, sex addiction, a sex addict. But this is also limelight. Like, I want to be in the limelight, I want to be seen with you, I want to be next to you, I want to be with you. Like, I want to, I need. That could be a king, right? So it's like, you bow down to me, we're not worthy. So everybody has to come to me, and everybody has to really do what I want here. That can be a king. But you've got travel. You've probably went over to see this person and had sex here. If you live with them, that's what happened. If you don't live with them, you went over and visited and probably had sex, for a lot of you here. If you've got age of consent where it's really just to deal with around, say, your kids coming to visit, then your kids, through one of the readings, they went over to visit, say, father or mother, and then they basically just arrived back. But that was through a Libra reading, right? Here, the child now is here with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius now, okay? Right here, right now, something to do with progeny. Yeah, sex here. So sex on the beach. Now come on and do my body. Yeah, sex on the beach. Beaches. Bette Midler. Betty, or Midler, or Middleton. You know Middleton? Middleton. What's the Knight of Cups? Knight of Cups here. Something esoteric here. So some of you dealing with clients or that kind of thing. Some of you are watching tarot. Some of you are watching Tyler. Here. Yeah. Some of you watch Tyler's tarot here. This is Aries. So here, it's like building things up, but some of you are looking to renovate a house and a building and stuff like that here. Building, I keep saying building blocks. Okay, yeah, but yeah, working here, or your partner does. Oh, shit. But yeah, generally getting on very well here. What's the King of Wands? See, because readings can transform, because I'm like, you see, 2 is here. You see, it's kind of telling me that there is a slight energy of what do you call it? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter. But because I'm not dealing in like reverse, because it really doesn't matter. Like, I can throw all of these in reverse and read them, but you have to take your own under advisement of whatever that is. Because this card, when it was in reverse, it came up, but it's still a general reading. So you can't say, no, everything has been going great when it has been going bad, because that would mean that if this was in reverse, and that's been a bad scenario, completely and utterly, right? And you do have around this energy here of 2. So there's some kind of like an ultimatum. 2 is always an ultimatum, and it can be giving people's ultimatum. You either take it or you leave it. You either come or you don't, right? But it can be forcing someone's hand as an ultimatum. Because that came up in the past with other readings that I did, it was around somebody that could have been playing the martyr in order to give people ultimatums and force their hand in order to do it, to come over and see me, which means an ultimatum can basically, come through as a guilt trip. right? I'm going to make you feel guilty for doing it, right? So through guilt, you've got people that can, like, I don't know, now I feel guilty. Like, I feel guilty, I have a guilty conscience. Well, if that's a Leo, and they have a guilty conscience, and things have happened in the past, with some of the readings, it can be very difficult, okay? But I want to see what this Two of Swords actually represents. Why is this Two of Swords here? Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Hanging on for dear life here. So somebody was very ill, whichever way, because it came up for a lot of the readings, and it wasn't a Libra reading. Someone was very ill, and it came up ill will, but it also came up through spiritually ill as well, like physically ill, mentally ill, or spiritually ill, okay? Or ill manners. Someone doesn't have any manners, I don't know. But, or you're listening to ill manners. But, again, 10 here, it ended because somebody gave somebody an ultimatum through 2. They forced someone's hand. They tempted them and lured them into a sexual experience also. But through whatever happened in the past, you guys talked, decided that you were going to do something, and then here, like, there's a Two of Swords of an ultimatum that somebody came over and visited here. But through the past reflection, right, the past reflection of a problem halved is a problem solved. So can we solve it? But I'm also hearing, can we dissolve this? So something is being dissolved here, like, I don't know what this is, like a tablet that's being dissolved, okay? Or, well, what I take, I forget what they're called, but you dissolve them in water, okay? But I'm hearing, like, well, basically somebody pissed on someone's matches as well and put out their fire. So it feels like that you always seem to put me out, like put me out. So Leo energy. Why is this 10 of Wands here? Because I was just holding on. I'm just holding on. See, there's somebody that holds on to every word. Like they hold, because there's an obsession here through the channeled stuff. And it feels like that I hold on to your every word. So like I'm obsessed by every word that you say. I'll do anything that you want. And it's kind of like your wish is my command, right? So it's like I'm very demanding, but I'm also like your wish is my command. Like I'll drink your bathwater, I'll do whatever it is. But through an ultimatum, it can be someone that lures someone into a false sense of security. So they can be very insecure. During insecure moments, if this Leo energy is representing any of you that have had a bad time with this person, and it's representing what was in some of the readings, there's a false sense of security, which means that I'm insecure actually, but it makes me feel insecure, and you've got this cat and mouse energy, right? That I feel like I'm like brave and I'm out there, because it can be a sociopath. I'm like out there and everybody has to see me as a certain image. They have to see us as a certain image. I have to be seen around you, and I can't be seen around everybody else. I can only be seen around you. So it can be seclusion, right? And it can feel like this energy of like I have to be brash and I have to be out there with everything and everyone, and I have to be in the in crowd and everybody has to see me, and I want to be seen, right? I need to be seen. But through an introvert, that can come across as one thing, but it can also come across as wearing a mask, where people pick up an energy of like insecurity. Because if a person's insecure inside, they will show themselves up to be not insecure, but they really are. And that's where they'll get triggered, and that's why I'm going to do a big reading, thing, what Spirit tells me about triggers, right here. But, well, my way of looking at it. But what I am hearing here is that somebody gets triggered very quickly, and they turn from like Jackal to Hyde. Now they're in Jackie or Jackson, right? But they turn from Jackal to Hyde. 1 minute they're one way, number 2, next minute they're that way, and you're like, fuck man, I can't figure out. I can't follow your compass. I can't follow you. Like there's something like I can't follow you. Like I'm not following what you're saying. I don't know what you mean. And it, like I said, it can be a trick, because that can end up being control, which means that somebody lures someone into a false sense of security, and they're like, 1 minute they're okay, and the next minute they're fucking not, and you're like, whoa, hold on a minute, what? 1 minute you were saying this, and then the next minute you're saying that. You're very confusing. So are you. I thought you wanted this. Well, I did, but now I feel very insecure around the energy itself. Like I don't know if I can be around you all of the time. Like I can only really see you. It's kind of like, okay, look, if this happens, right? If this happens, I can only really speak to you now and again. Like, I really don't want to speak to you every day. Like, every day is too much for me. To see you every day is too much for me. Or these are people or clients or the gym or something. But like, I can't do this every day. Like, you're asking me to do this every day. I can't do it every day. I can't do 3 classes a day. Or I can't speak to you 3 times a day. I've got work. I've got fucking shit to do, bruv. Here, water sign. But I've got things to do here. Like, you know, I've got to get on with work. I can't just like be talking to you every minute of the goddamn day when you've got a problem. Or like somebody phones somebody up like at god awful whatever hours it is, and then that was the past and you spoke a lot, but now somebody's using even speaking as like a tool in order to make someone feel guilty that they're maybe not talking to them all the time. Because this is quite free and open to talk, but I'm also working. Like, I can't talk all of the time. I can't do this all of the time. And it feels like that somebody here did give or does give, because if they did, they do. Right? And if you look at this of past, do you think that this stuff here is forgotten just because I'm doing a past reading? Of course not. Right? So it's kind of like, I can't forgive that. I can't just forget it. Right? So you've got a mirror of where people give other people ultimatums of like, well, no fucking wonder that you're just hanging on to every word I say. It's kind of like you text me at whatever kind of hours expecting that I can just like give up work or everything else just for you or just for this. I can't keep like giving up work for that. Like, so it's kind of like, what are you doing? Well, I'm at home on my own. Well, are you? Well, if you're at home on your own, where's your mates? Where's your friends? Where's your life? Like, why do you do everything where you give up your whole life? For me, it's too much. It's too overpowering. If you've got a fire sign with a water sign here, with a water sign, there's too much energy here. There's too much, like, it comes across as like, well, I'm loyal, I've never checked, but I want to be around you like 24/7. And it's kind of like, yeah, but I can't be around you 24/7, man. Like, that's too much. Like, you're putting fire onto water, like but you put me out. You make me feel as if like I'm not wanted and I'm not worth it. No, it's because you're like, your fire's putting me out, bruv. Like, you're making me feel like my feelings are not my own. You're questioning my reality through 2 and 1 here, or 10. But you question my reality. You know, my reality is that I'm fine when I'm at work and I'm trying to get on with that, but then suddenly you come out with an ultimatum. The fact that it's either work or me, or it's them, another person, or me, because if you are dealing with 3, which you will be, because it'll be any kind of intergalactic, what I will start to show people, which will be around like a drama triangle and what you go through, and trines and oppositions of astrology and all that sort of stuff here. But, you know, because you have an opposition, you'll have a north and south, right? So your north node, their south node. Right, because that's going to be your opposition, because that'll be your polar opposite. So you've got like, well, I'm always opposite you. I'm always here if you want me. I'm always here if you need me. I know you are. I know you are. I know that you're always there. You see, someone gives off this sign of being very secure, but then very insecure when you don't speak with them 24/7. And when you don't speak with them 24/7, this person will start getting triggered and saying, are you seeing someone else? Like, what are you doing? Where are you? And you're like, fuck, bro, fucking, you're obsessed about me. Like, I'm at work, man. I'm at work. I'm doing stuff. Like, I can't always make it. Like, you know, but why? It's like, oh, bruv, it's too much. Do you see the story? Like, it's too much. Like, it's too much. Or you said too much, but then you said too little, right? So too little, too late. Because an ultimatum can be like, what did you say? I can't believe what you said. It's like, now you're telling me that I'm now this, or that you now want me? It's like, well, yeah, but you've kind of got this stagnant energy of being very unsure about each other. Put it that way, Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node. But you're very unsure about the connection itself, right, here. Because you can't work it out. You can't work each other out. Right, or can't work out, like a workout, or Kelly, or Kel. What's the world? Because it feels, if I'm honest, without reading the cards so much, it feels like secure, insecure, trying to cope with someone's insecurities about things, and that the person that keeps trying to deal with the person that's insecure could be very confident. And because they're very confident, they scare off the person actually that is really actually insecure. They may not show their insecurities, but you feel it connected with this person that they're insecure, that they check up on you all of the time. So you feel like, what, you checking up on me? I'm fine, I'm at work, bruv. Are you? See, if trust has been broken in your connection in the past, this is where people will start blaming their exes. Yeah, but you remind me of my ex, you remind me of my father, when my father used to do all of these kind of things. You know, my father used to treat me this way, or my father used to do all of that. They turn into a martyr. They start blaming other people for not being able to control it. So if they can't control their external energies, they'll start to blame or grab hold of anything that they can to say that it's somebody else's fault. So they could well blame you to say, well, it was your fault, right? So they make you feel guilty conscience, right? The energy does. So here, what I'm seeing is that, for me, for instance, why I was going to do part of the video, but it will come up in that video. I don't deal with people's shit. I don't deal with people's triggers, bro. This is me. It is, right? I know a load of people that have Sagittarius in their chart. They would watch me even as a friend, as a son, right? As a daughter, whoever, right? So this is me in this, right, situation here, right? Me, I don't give a fuck about people's triggers. I don't. Y'all want a trigger? Go to a shooting range and practice shooting a tin can, right? If that's what you want. But people's triggers are not other people's triggers. Somebody else mentioned, I'm not disagreeing against you. Someone said about a trigger and a two of cups. You're supposed to heal each other. No, a masculine energy will trigger a feminine off through somebody that is very secure. It will show the other person their insecurities. It will show them their dark side. Because me, I know that for a fact of being in relationships, is that I never bring up in a relationship, oh my God, you remind me of my mum. Oh my God, you remind me of my father. Oh my God, you remind me of my ex. You're doing the things that my ex used to do. I never throw that in someone's face. Never, right? Not physically. When I'm like interacting with a human, I never get triggered by a person and say, oh my God, you remind me of all of this. No, like that's not their shit. It's not their fault. It's not their problem, right? So if somebody ever has a problem and they ever bring up the fact that it was because of my husband or it was because of my wife, and like when you shout or scream at me and you do all of those kind of things, you remind me of that person, right? So, I mean, it's human nature, Sagittarius, it's human nature, right? But again here, this could be a mother or a father that has a right problem with their child not speaking with them here, or that they do now and again, but it isn't enough. I'm obsessed about my child, that I want to see them like 24/7, or I want to see my grandchild 24/7. And then not everybody, but then you get some parents out there that can be very controlling around exes, right? So then if your parents and then your parents have ever showed you signs of being too much, you're kind of like, bruv, I'm an adult, I'm working, I'm doing my own thing. You know, let me go, let me do whatever I want, stop pressuring me, stop giving me ultimatums in life that I can't do what I want. I'm free, right? If you're not free and you're insecure, then why make me feel insecure? So you got a mirror, you got trigger, right there, right? I'm not insecure, I'm confident, I'm working, right? I'm confident about my job, I'm confident about my, wherever I am, right? I'm confident. Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm just holding on. I can only just afford to do this, possibly, here. Ace of Swords. See, there's the Taskmaster. So it's a return. It's a return. It's goddamn someone, here's Johnny, but it's a return, right? So you've kind of got this where it's where you go over and visit this person and you just pretty much let sleeping dogs lie, right, at the moment. But I think that in your energy, this person here is fully aware of this energy here. Whether even if you look at this as a friend that talks to you about this energy. This person here is very aware of what is going on here. Very aware of what's going on with this person. Because they've noticed it, right? They've noticed it, right? Because they're in an alignment with themselves here. So they do it off their own back. You've got an energy here as well. If that's what you decide, you do it off your own back. You don't, I don't carry this for you. You do it off your own back. If you want to do all of this stuff, you want to do this work, then you do it. You do it off your own back, right? So you've kind of got this energy that's approaching reconciliation, where you had a blip, but you pretty much then reconciled and gave over to this person, even though you know that the only way to really give them what they want is by giving them what they want. But, and I will say this even if the cards doesn't show it here, somebody here feels as if they're fully aware of someone's actions, of how they act and what they do. Guarantee you that it's actually getting on someone's nerves. It's actually getting on someone's nerves, because the empathic feeling that I'm getting is confused, right? Is that somebody keeps playing a guilty conscience to get someone back here. This energy plays a guilty conscience to get this person back on side, right? So they see this person as loyal, but this person sees this person for who they really are. And that is going to be down to your lives of how you see this person here. Not down to me, just down to whoever it is. You're fully aware of this person's behaviour, and you're fully aware that they constantly bring up the past. You're fully aware that they also play guilt trips with people in order to get what they want. They can play a martyr, they can play a guilt trip, they can have a moment, right? A momentary lapse of reason. They'll relapse, either drugs, alcohol, drink, food. They'll relapse, and then when they do, they'll get triggered. When they do, you're fully aware of that. This person here is fully aware. And that eventually gets on someone's nerves. You reconcile, but I'm aware of your behaviour. Okay, so there's your reading so far, Sagittarius. Okay, sorry if you've only got past, but I can't always do future. Your next one will be slightly future, okay? The one after that will only be full access bundle, so be aware of that one. It'll only be full access bundle, okay? But if you want to go over to the full access bundle on Patreon for this one, this is where you will find your 7th until the 14th of May for your reading of what's going to be happening through that week. That's also channeled messages if there are any. It's basically a fresh spread, fresh start, as if I was pretty much coming straight back on YouTube. But that will be 7th until the 14th, okay? So that will be your reading, but if you would like it, it'll only be on the full access bundle over on Patreon. There's a video that explains everything below if you haven't joined before, okay? If you are interested, please join Angel Radio for the music production that I also do. Trying to get that channel built up and do it so I can just put the music on there. So if you are interested in that music and the other stuff, it has been on here, but I would really like to just go over to there and do music there, okay? But then people here say, what's that music that you played? Okay, it's in the description. It's called Angel Radio. If you want to go over, it's another channel that I do, okay? So thanks very much, Sagittarius. I really appreciate it, and hopefully see you over on Patreon.